is when no one is singling you out. No one persuaded you. You are in a party with your fellow teen or with your peers, and you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are seeing my face for the very first time, I'm Best, a mom vlogger based in Lagos, Nigeria. Happy Children's Day to our children. So guys, in commemoration to the Children's Day, to talk about how to groom your child in order for him or her to withstand negative peer influence or negative peer pressure. So guys, if this sounds like something you've been interested on, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your post notification to be notified when I put on a new video. Before we dive into the topic proper, I would love us to understand the meaning of some keywords here. Peers are people who are part of the same social group or cycle, such as age, school, church, etc. with your child. Pressure: when a child exhibits some behaviors that are not considered socially and morally acceptable or desirable, such as experimentation with alcohol, drugs, and the rest of it. So peer pressure or peer influence is the process by which members of the same social group influence another to do things that they may be resistant to or might not otherwise choose to do. In reality, peer pressure or peer influence is also the need to be accepted and appreciated by friends. It's a natural phenomenon of a child's growing up phase. However, parents try to do their best while bringing up their child, nurturing the child with so much love, teaching them right from wrong, and hoping the best for their future. But the time spent on these kids has little effect on their long-term development, especially when they leave their nest, the comfort of their home, to exploit the temptations of the world. This is when parents come to know if their upbringing has stood the test of time. But you have to understand that peer pressure is one of the developmental tasks for a child. At that point in their lives, they are trying to learn how to negotiate their social relationships and how to be with friends and other groups. So this is what they go through as they walk their way towards becoming an adult. If they don't get the necessary and needed support from their parents, it's in this period most of them lose themselves. They lose their identity, all to fit in, belong, and impress their peers. And every mistake they make during this period has its consequences, which tends to live with them throughout their lifetime. The types of peer pressure or peer influence a person may experience are often described in these 6 terms. Number 1 is spoken peer pressure. Is when someone verbally influences another person to do something, such as a teenager might influence another teen into having sex or going into an intimate relationship by saying, "Come on, it's just sex. No one will know, no one will find out." This is what big boys and big girls do. Kids, oh, you never can tell. Those little creatures are very smart and they have their way of convincing their fellow kids. So number 2 is unspoken peer pressure. Is when no one verbally tries to influence or convince you to do something. However, the person still feel pressured by their peers to partake in the activity because it seems like everyone is doing it. So the third on my list is direct peer pressure. It's when a person uses verbal or non-verbal cues to persuade you to do something, like handing a glass of alcohol or introducing an opposite sex to another thing. It's all left for the child on the receiving end to decide on the spot how to respond, either to refrain or indulge. So my number 4 is indirect peer pressure. Indirect peer pressure is a type of peer pressure. No one is singling you out, but the environment you found yourself may influence you to do something. For example, you are in a party, everyone is drinking and smoking. You might feel pressured to do the same without anyone asking you to. Then the number 5 is positive peer pressure. This is when a child influences another to engage in a beneficial or productive behavior. And the last is negative peer pressure. This is the influence that makes a child do something they wouldn't normally do or don't want to do as a way of fitting in with a social group, such as cultism, drugs, and its likes. This is what you have to do as a parent during this phase of their life to help your child cope positively with peer pressure. Number 1 is constant communication. You have to be an active and interested participant in your child's life. Know his or her dislikes, the place he or she loves to freak out with his or her friends, what they all do in general when they are together. Most importantly, keeping a friendly approach will make them comfortable in situations where they wish to share some secrets with you. So number 2 is explain things with patience and use gentle approach. When you feel your child is under any sort of negative influence from his or her peers, don't rush to reprimand that child or interrogate him or her. Always remember that the person you are trying to undermine in front of your child is often whom he or she trusts the most. So instead of approaching the issue or situation directly or harshly, talk it out gently by giving him or her the chance to evaluate his or her friend's attitude. So the number 3 is do not make rigid rules. Make rules that are reasonable, such as encouraging them to be responsible, coming home on time, restricting gadgets time. Once you suspect anything going wrong in your child's behavior, first dig into finding out the truth before jumping into conclusion. Then talk to your teens about what friendship means. Share facts about what makes a true friendship. Tell them that a friend who insists or compels the other to indulge in dangerous and immoral acts or things which may be illegal or contrary to the word of God or the morals you instilled in him or her is not a friend after all. Then help them develop thinking abilities. Instruct your child to think before taking any step in life. Help him or her develop his or her thinking abilities so that they can judge the consequences of behaviors, especially in situation him or her is not comfortable. Learning to say no to friends with a stance instead of merely nodding with a tone of uncertainty. This can go a long way in staving off bad influence. Help your child develop self-confidence. An individual with a good self-esteem is capable of handling the negative aspects of life better. Children with low self-esteem or naive are more vulnerable to getting influenced by others. And as a parent, you are the best person to boost your child's self-esteem by appreciating his or her effort and achievements, telling him or her how much you believe in his or her abilities. Get to know your child's friends. Invite your child's friends home. Schedule an outing or play day. I can remember vividly when I was watching a fellow content creator. Oh, I think that should be Adeze Space. Yes, you know, one of the things I love watching on this space is motherhood. Yes, because it enables me, gather more experience on how to handle my own kids, on how to be more like a mother. So on that very video, Adeze was talking about how she want to schedule a play day for her child's friends. So she was taking list of her child's friends, people that would attend the play day. So after listening to that video, I said, this is it. So you as a parent, you can as well do that. Schedule a play day for them. Schedule a play day for them. So interact with them, and with your experience and foresight, you will surely identify there is negative influence in the group. And please always help your child to understand your advice better. And ensure that your conversation is not biased but based on logic and facts. Encourage them to keep friends who would influence them positively. Help them cope better with challenges. Friends who have same vision with them, who would guide and inspire them to study well. And friends who will also imbibe good values in them. Always remember that being too critical of your child's peer may only lead him or her to go against you and get dragged towards those very friends. Hence, try enforcing behaviors that is acceptable to you and be firm about the consequences that might occur if they go contrary to the set limits of acceptable actions and behavior. Be an integral part of your child's life without being interfering or overbearing. Let them know you care for them and they mean the world to you. Once you establish a friendly and loving bond, you can be sure your child will not indulge in anything by keeping you in the dark. Parenting is not an easy task, but I believe that God, who entrusted those kids under our watch, would also equip us for the task. So I pray for the grace, the strength, to guide our kids right.